baby, we're back again, and I don't have a camera on, so let me just fix that really quickly right here. There we fucking go. Holy shit, man, it's a nice early morning for another live stream this week, carrying on with the tradition of 2 live streams, which we've done for 2 whole weeks now in a row, which I'm actually quite happy about. I've been really enjoying these live streams, and I think today's video is going to be, or today's live stream is going to be, well, rather fun, I suppose, in the sense that, well, Bitcoin and the crypto market, the crypto markets seem to be doing something. Holy fucking moly. It might even be doing this. In today's video, I actually want to be going over the setups that we looked at in yesterday's video, as well as a couple of the ones that I actually forgot to talk about in one mega fucking setup video, which we'll save for today. And I'll actually pre-record this one, or I will record this one as well, so I can post it up a little bit later, just for the people, you know, who do just want to, I don't know, just watch the Bitcoin analysis without any of the other antics, and that's completely fine as well. Anyways, I see a lot of I see a lot of familiar faces in here, which is always good to see. I see Nikki Page, good morning to you. Happy coming into your first full live stream in quite some time. What's up, Mr. Michael Tuthill? Jeff Small, is that your real last name? Is that actually your real last name? That is a very interesting last name. Crypto Shart says, my beehole is juicy, loosey goosey, a giant cave, ready for you, Krown and Elsa, to park your cars. And that is perfect, man. I'm looking for a place to park my car, and your asshole sounds like an amazingly perfect place for me to be parking such things in as well. I also want to say a lot of people asking about the song. I can show you exactly where to find the song. It's in fact only available here on YouTube. All you need to do is just go. You just need to type in Krown crypto theme, and it should pop up. It'll be Into the Cave, the anthem right here. It is actually made by one of our community members, so it's not like a song that you're gonna find on Spotify. Oh, actually, he might have put it on Spotify, but he is a legitimate producer. He is great. He is amazing. But I'm letting you know, the reason why you can't find it is because it's, as far as I know, I'm the only person who actually has posted this tune. So perhaps that is why. So if you want to save it, I think you have to just go to good old YouTube right there. What's up, Mr. Stylistical? Been a long time as well, sir. Good morning to you as well. I hate when life interferes with your stream time, but it's been like this for a while. All good, man. In fact, I think soon enough, life or stream times will diverge, or at least it should be better for a lot of people. I really want to get a residence in America just so that we can have one of those good time slots, so we can do it nice and early in the morning, which is what I fucking love. And I think just more people are kind of around during these times, because I do understand that most of this community is in America. And yeah, we've been looking at a lot of places actually in, what was it, in Florida. Elsa says, Sarasota. That's in her Finnish accent. Can you say Fort Lauderdale for me? Yes, that's exactly right. You can't speak English, so you can't come. You're actually banned. Yeah, indeed. We can do a Krown meetup, I suppose. I suspect that there's probably a lot of Florida people in here, because I get a lot of messages from people in Florida. It's actually super nice, because, you know, it helps me prepare, and and then I actually know a few people there before I go, which is pretty cool. A stark difference from being here in Finland, although I do love my place in Finland as well. It's like a nice, quiet, relaxing place. Maybe get some a little bit more in the city in Florida, but not Miami. Definitely not Miami. I don't think. I think I've had enough with big cities for a while. I can't stand the fucking noise, to be honest. Yeah, I see a piece of Reese is actually in Fort Lauderdale right now. Yeah, actually, one of our neighbors here in Finland just went to Fort Lauderdale, and they loved it. In fact, it looks really nice, I will say, because I've spent a lot of time on YouTube. We spent a lot of time on YouTube looking at the different areas in Florida. It really does look amazing. It really does look gorgeous, but I do hear that it's quite crowded, and I think it's a lot less walkable than kind of what I'm looking for as well. But goddamn, man, it is absolutely beautiful, as are a lot of places in Florida, to be fair. I mean, it's fucking tropical wonderland, basically. It's just amazing. Those like the blue ocean, with it being just so fucking, oh, that beautiful blue color, and then the green in the background. It's like almost a neon green. It creates a really, really amazing spectacle, at least in my opinion. Alec So Manny says Fort Lauderdale was retirement city last I went. I think that's mostly Florida. I think it's mostly old retired people who go there, and then now I guess crypto people too, because it is rather friendly to crypto. I was speaking with K-Dub from Crypto Zombie, really good friend. He's fucking awesome to talk to, and he was awareing me of like all the developments that are going on there and how Florida really wants to be, you know, very welcoming to I guess the crypto community, or just be forward thinking in that regard. I think they're even doing like a state strategic Bitcoin fund, which is the new word on the block for everyone, or the new buzzword on the block. But you know what? I love all buzzwords that help pump my bags. That's what I care about. So you know what? Keep on fucking pumping it up, you state motherfuckers, and we'll see you at the top, I suppose. Anyways, old people and Canadians, fair enough, man. Probably a lot of New Yorkers as well. In fact, my real estate agent, who I'll be meeting up with, is in New York. He's got this beautiful accent. He sounds like my cousin Vinny, or what's the actor's name? Joe Pesci. Is it Joe Pesci? From my cousin Vinny. It's like this old show that I watched with my father when I was a kid. Or sorry, not a show, but a movie. It's a great fucking movie, by the way. But yeah. Anyways, no one's gonna catch that reference. So fair enough. I'm old now. Like, I make references and no one fucking knows what I'm talking about. It's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. Are you cut it out. I don't want to hear any of your bird cackling in the background for one whole day. How about that? Give me a goddamn break. Hong Kong is the best place for stocks and cryptocurrencies. I know, but you have to be in China, and I don't want to be there. The two Utes, yeah. Alial knows. Alial, good morning to you, man. Hope you and Don are doing very, very well over there in your part of the world. Yeah, the two Utes, and then one of the most epic blow-up scenes of all time. Just so fucking accurate and so fucking good. Well, I guess it was a bad time. Yeah. Great fucking movie, man. Can you stream from Amazon Music? Yeah. Tim says your intro song, can you stream from Amazon Music? No, I'll explain it one more time, sir. It is only available here on YouTube. You can simply type in Krown Crypto Theme on the YouTube search bar and it'll pop up just for your listening or viewing pleasure. There you go, man. I don't think it's available anywhere else. Yeah, it is. It is Joe Pesci. Finland ranks as the happiest country in the world in the UN Happiness World Report. Is that true? No, it's really not, man. Most people here are quite depressed. If I'm honestly being if I'm trying to be as accurate as possible, most people here are depressed, and the happiness ranking has very little to do with like people having smiles on their face and shit like that. What it really has to do with is like, I guess, socio-economical like similarness. Like, everyone's basically the same here. If you're a doctor, or if you work at the fucking cashier at the local grocery store, you don't have that huge of a difference in experience of life, to be honest. Which is pretty crazy. But that's the thing, is like Finland beats the ambition out of anyone who lives here, basically. Like, that's what I see. Because I also do hang around, I guess some younger people, because I go to my boxing class, and it's, I mean, I'm probably one of the oldest people there, if not the oldest people there. And and like, these kids, man, they're fucking dead in the eyes. They don't have ambition. They don't want to like do anything. They almost look at people who want to go in and do something more as like, you fucking idiot. Like, what are you trying to do that for? You're not going to get anywhere. You know, that's stupid. That's retarded. And you can say retarded nowadays because Trump is president again. And that means you can say gay retard and not the other F word, but you could say midget. You can say midget. And so there is that one as well. And I'm not trying to be offensive to anyone out there. Just saying, you know, they're just words. They're just words.
They're funny words.
Elsa says they're funny words, and it really just matters with the intent. If you intend to hurt someone else's feeling, then yeah, that makes you an asshole. Whether you call them the R word or you just say, hey, you stupid fuck. If you really mean it, like, you stupid fuck, like, you're such an ignoramus fucking moron, How do you get dressed in the morning? Well, I think that's a lot more offensive, honestly. Grandpa Krown. Yeah, I do feel old, man. My beard is like half white at this point. It's actually insane. But I think that's from just being in the crypto landscape for the past 7 or 8 years now. Like, it's not good. It ages you very, very quickly, man. I did this. I found this, or I found, but Elsa found this app on your phone that takes a picture of your face and then it gives you an accurate rating towards like what your age is, like what it thinks your age is based off of your, your complexion and everything. And mine was a little bit higher than what I actually am. Which I'm not so good with, man. Anyways. Crypto Johnny Rambo says, fucking Krown, thanks, bro. Your course has changed my life. I'm glad to hear that, man. But as always, give yourself some credit for putting in the work, because I never want people to get the idea that like you get into one of the courses just immediately you're fucking downloaded with all this information. It's like, no, it takes a lot of work from your own behalf. And then yes, if you put in the work, you can have the results, and it sounds like you're having the results, which is awesome. But I don't want to give anyone else the wrong opinion out there, just because I have seen this work out in the past, and some people just let's just say they maybe don't get it as much. Anyways, Krown, where do you get your shirts? I get my shirts from Zalando.com. If you're talking about this literal €5 shirt, it's actually kind of nice, but they don't last too long, man. But I'm pretty over like getting super expensive clothing just because it's just the same shit anyway. It's just the same fucking shit. Kind of pisses me off, honestly. Hello. Good morning to you, Miss Nikki Page. Miss Nikki Page. Christian Roman says, hey, Krown, can you check out Pole Token on daily? Jesus, we're already getting started with the nameless shitcoins in today's video. We'll give it another couple minutes here. I see that there's nearly 900 people watching right now. I think today might be a little bit busier than usual, so I'll wait until at least there's 1,000, and then we'll get into the actual analysis of the day. Feeling a little bit dizzy actually too, so hopefully I'm not having like a heart attack or anything like that. Anyways, good morning to all the pimps and vegans. Been here since Elliot Trade channel days. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's crazy to think about. Like, I don't think my channel would have ever got anywhere if Elliot didn't bring me on, or at least certainly not in the way that it has. I mean, he really brought this place to life. I have the utmost respect for him, man, and it's good to see him still like doing his thing, and like how he's kind of come. He's gone a whole lot of different places, and now he's come back, and he's like, I don't know. I just feel like he's doing a lot of good and right things with his brand. It seems to me like he's one of the voices of reason. Not that there's not anyone else. I certainly know a few other people as well on the YouTubes, but it's good to see, man. It's very, very good to see. I was here before Elliot. I mean, before Elliot was like before 10,000 subscribers on this channel, which was actually insane. I remember it very specifically. Gen X Crypto says, 30 years ago, words like retarded and spastic were used by the government to describe people. Yeah, I mean, it is a scientific term. I mean, it's a literal scientific term, retarded, because it just means that like you're held back from advancing, something like that. And it's actually a very descriptive word. I mean, it's not like I don't really know when it turned into a slur, honestly. Anyways, I remember Elliot bringing Krown on while I was an eager crypto student. Yes, an eager crypto student. Good, man. All right. I'll just get prepared over here. See, I mean, there is a shit ton of setups to go over today. It's actually insane how everything is firing off at nearly the exact same time. Looks like we got our short-term pullback on yesterday's video as well, though I'm not like super, I don't know, focused on something like that. In fact, could be getting another pullback relatively soon here, but ultimately, the trend starting to really set in for Bitcoin. The thing is, though, and I'll say this before we get into the actual videos, the thing that I keep on looking at for Bitcoin is like, at some point, this is going to come back down and set in a higher low, and we have not done that just yet. And you're already approaching your last prior high. So it is kind of a good place for a little bit of a short-term pullback, but should just be looking for a higher low. The problem is a higher low can come anywhere above, especially like $95,000, and well, it's still a higher low, So there's a lot of room for error here, unfortunately, which makes things difficult when you have massive fucking ranges like this. I mean, Jesus, that's a 7% move, but it's $7,000. So it's like, what's your risk? What's your risk on something like that? Very difficult to get, to get in right here, at least in my opinion. Been here since BitBoy had a wife and kids, says Jeff Small. Indeed, I've actually met BitBoy. Honestly, when I speak to BitBoy in real life, he's a really nice guy. I don't have anything bad to say about him. He seems like a solid dude. He seems like a genuine dude. I guess what he does on the internet is probably just for show. But yeah, man. I see Zhao says Hong Kong is the best place for stocks and cryptocurrencies. Really, why stocks? I would think it can't be the best for stocks because America has to be the best for stocks because that's where all the investment is. But I don't know. I'm curious to hear why you say that, sir. I've actually never been there, so I shouldn't really talk shit about Hong Kong. I mean, I'm not really talking shit about Hong Kong, but I just assume like Hong Kong, China, basically the same thing. So don't fucking go there. So it's kind of how I think about it in my mind. Although I was invited to do a fight night there in Hong Kong in February, but I don't think I'll be doing that. I think instead we go to Florida and check out what's going on over there. BitBoy or Ansem. In terms of fighting ability, I mean, I was actually impressed by Ansem on the last fight night. I think he improved a lot, and he did look in control a lot during that fight. But I can also understand how it was a draw. I mean, you have to win rounds at the end of the day, and 2-2. I can see that. Although he did look in control, he did look more composed. He looked decent. He looked decent. I started following you back in 2017 when you had a stream with Omar Baum, on his channel. Yeah, man. Fuck, man. I was just looking at his Twitter the other day. I wonder where he is nowadays, but he was like one of the OGs of crypto YouTube. Like, I was watching him when I was just getting into the space. So that was actually a really cool one to do, to kind of meet him and, I don't know, just shoot the shit, really. Anyways. Hong Kong is the best place. That's why they have capital control, so investors can't leave. That's kind of how I think as well, man. Like, look, say what you want about the way things are in the world. I fucking hate this conversation that I get into with a lot of people where it's like, well, don't you know that the U.S. does bad shit too? It's like, look, man, the U.S. might do bad shit, but for fuck's sake, man, would you rather live in Russia or China or Iran, or would you rather live in the U.S.? Like use your fucking brain for a goddamn second, you moron, you actual retarded moron. And in that way, I really do mean it as a derogatory phrase, because you're an idiot. You're a fucking idiot. You have not researched these things. You have not looked into these things nearly to the level that you should be. And for fuck's sake, man, all you have to do is reference one of the many catastrophes that these places have produced over the last 50 years to very quickly understand that America ain't fucking perfect, but goddamn, man, if I had to pick the leader of the world, I'd rather it be America than fucking China. Like, Jesus, man, like you fucking idiot. Anyways. My kids learned to curse listening to this channel on our drive to school. Thanks, Krown. Good morning, kids. Get ready for some fucking analysis today. It's time to get you started nice and early. No more laying around like lazy retards. It's time to get busy. It's called a joke.
No joking.
Krown, move to India and become a Pajit. Jeet's out, Chad's in. I don't know what that means or where it's from, but I kept on seeing that around March of last year, and I thought it was really funny as just a phrase. I don't know what the fuck it means, though. Don't listen to Krown with your kids. Yeah, I get this message quite often. I'm surprised Ali Al listens with his kids around, but you know what? They're learning well. They're learning very, very well. Anyways, we'll get to this one in just a moment here. I think we're just about ready. A few more sips of this amazing water. That is the one thing that, like, I don't think we're going to find anywhere better in the world than Finland. It's the water quality and the air quality. It's so fucking good here. The little things are so fucking good. That I love. Anyways, yeah, oops, I can get rid of this right there. Let me start. I don't know, do we want to start over here? Do we want to start over here? Where do we want to start? Well, let me just reference my notes again. And okay, all right. Here's how we'll do this one. Okay, sweet. All right. In yesterday's video, we went over several setups that were coalescing for Bitcoin. In today's video, we will follow up on these ones, which ones have actually fired off, and a couple of new ones that we did not speak about in yesterday's video that are perhaps of relevant interest as well. I want to state that this is massively focused on the higher term timeframes, not on the lower term timeframes. Although yesterday we did say Bitcoin could very easily get a short-term pullback. I mean, it did pull back from about 100,000 down to 97, but do understand that as long as Bitcoin is below this last 102 high right here or 103 high right here, depending upon whether you're looking at spot or CME, there is still potential for, a decent pullback because we do not see a higher low on the daily time frame just yet. In fact, we don't even see a higher high just yet as well, but I do look at this as very likely to resolve to the upside. Other than that, I should let you know that if you're watching this video later on in the day, this is being recorded during a live stream. So if you want to join on in later, you can always, do the like button and hit the subscribe as well if that's relevant to your interests. All right. So first things first, I wanted to follow up on the RSI EMA setup that we looked at on yesterday's video. This was pertaining to the 2-day time frame. The 2-day time frame. Yes, the 2-day time frame. The setup is extremely simple. 2-day RSI above the exponential on a closing basis, open along. When it closed below, closed along. If you would have done that throughout the full history of Bitcoin, you would have had these results right here. You would have won your trades about 35.5% of the time, but your profit factor is very large, I would say. I do want to omit these first few years of history over here, just because I think that I think that it's probably painting a better picture than what it actually is. So I'm going to go for just the last 10 years of history, and we can see the stats definitely do adjust, but they are still, at least in my opinion, quite nice here. Going into the performance summary, keeping in mind that this strategy has indeed already fired off, the average winning trade has returned 21.5%, the average losing trade losing 369, and the average amount of bars and winning trades is 12. So, we can start to come up with areas of interest to the upside, as well as dates, because this one again has officially fired off. And what would it look like? Well, I guess 20% to the upside puts Bitcoin at around 119,500 to 120,000 bucks. Again, these are averages; they're not fucking exact numbers. There's going to be some variance, obviously. And 12 bars, I think it would be obviously 24 days. So that would put that would put us on a timeline, around first week of February, perhaps. Which is what we have on this channel. Late January to early February is where things likely do move outside of this range. But moving on I should also add, Bitcoin, this setup obviously can fail. And if it does, it probably happens sooner rather than later. As you can see on all of these last few trades right here that we've seen since November 28th, which have all been losses, we're pretty much only open for, 2 to 4 days at a time. I mean, this one took 2 closures, so that's 4 days. The other one's just taking 2 days. So yeah, if it is going to fail, you'll know very, very soon, meaning that if Bitcoin just essentially fails to come back down and close below this, the moving average on the 2-day RSI, then, the setup is still valid. But moving on from there and following up on the next setup, the 6-hour time frame setup, the silver trend right here. This one is also fired off as of, this one actually fired off on Wednesday. So we did cover this one on yesterday's video, but I do want to take another stab at it just to remind ourselves kind of the greater picture, everything that's kind of working with each other. And we can see right here that, again, a very simple strategy, very fucking simple strategy. Yes, you can figure out, if you have half of a brain, you can figure out a million ways to optimize this. But the strategy is this: 6-hour silver cross, which is the 21 versus the 55 exponential average to the upside, open along, cross below, or cross in the other direction, close that long. If you would have done that throughout the last, I think, about 10 years for Bitcoin, you would have had, again, a very low hit rate, 37.5%, but very high profit factor compared to that, and a nice equity curve over time. The average winning trade for this setup returning about almost 30%, the average losing trade losing just under 5%. Again, it is more likely to fail, to be fair, but you do have to wonder, when we see all of these setups going on in the background, is it, are these all going to agree with each other at the same time? Probably yes, if that's the way that it's going to work out. This one, however, going for a much more long-term move compared to the last 2-day time frame setup that we looked at, where we do see the average amount of bars and winning trades is actually 162. 162 bars on a 6-hour time frame is how many days? I mean, Again, these are averages, but I'm curious where that kind of put us. Yeah, that puts us in kind of the third week of February area. So that's going for a little bit more of a long-term move. And again, as long as these two moving averages right here are crossed in the upside direction, that being the 21 above the 55, that general trade remains open. So like I said, Bitcoin at some point is going to come back down and set in a higher low on a daily time frame. If it does do it from its current area right here, you could still have these setups work out even if it does have a pullback down to like 95 or 96,000 bucks. That'll actually still kind of work out in that same direction. But moving on from there, I wanted to bring up a new setup, or it's not necessarily new. We've spoken about this before on the channel, but not pertaining to current price action, which is the 5-day 5 exponential moving average setup. Again, super fucking simple setup right here. I want all of the setups that I show on YouTube to be super fucking simple so that people can follow along with them, not because people are retarded, but because it makes things easier. And the 5-day setup is simply this: 5-day closure above the red moving average, which is just a 5 exponential, open along, close below the 5 exponential, closed along. And the purpose of this strategy is to catch on to long-term major trending moves. All major trending moves in Bitcoin's history have begun and ended on the 5-day 5 exponential. For example, the last major one that we saw opened up over here at about 62,850, closed somewhat recently in late December at about 92,500 bucks. Also, this particular setup got the 2 major trades of 2024, or 3 major trades of 2024. There was just 2 major ones, and it got both of those. The second one was the January to April rally right here, 50% rally. And then the one before that was actually late 2023, similar sort of 50% gainer right there as well. Anyways, this one did fire off with the last 5-day closure, which was last night or 2 nights ago, I suspect. Like last night or the night before that, whatever it was, it's fired off. And here would be the full stats if you were to play this setup throughout the full history of Bitcoin. Again, I do think that this is massively influenced by the earlier days of Bitcoin. So if we do get rid of that, I'm curious to see what we will see, although I already kind of know, but the hit rate actually does go up a fair bit to close to 41%. And the profit factor is still very high, I would say, with the average winning trade returning about 35.5%, the average losing trade losing about 5.5%, and the average amount of bars in winning trades is 10. So 10 on a 5-day, that's easy math. That's 50 days. So again, that puts us into like end of February. Perhaps we can start to come up with some projections if this is going to work out. Again, needs to remain above the 5 exponential. And what would 30+% look like, to the upside? I mean, that would put Bitcoin at around 130 to 135,000 bucks by end of February. On top of this setup, of course, we do also have the 5-day setup that we spoke about over here, which is looming as of right now. It's a looming setup. It's not quite there just yet, but anytime we see extremely low volatility represented by the BBWP indicator on the 5-day time frame, there is the potential for an absolutely massive move. And just put things into perspective, these sort of moves typically come to the tune of like 40%. And that's both the average and the median, which is actually very interesting in my opinion. Now, this setup is only green lighted when the 5-day volatility starts to actually expand. Right now, it is still kind of contracting, actually. I suspect that we won't actually have true volatility expansion until Bitcoin is above the last local high, which was about 102,000 and change. But if and when this does start to expand, I mean, it will start to expand, then the direction of the 5-day stochastic oscillator has had an extremely high correlation to the major direction of Bitcoin. In this case, we can see the 5-day stochastic oscillator is currently down. I mean, it's currently down. So this would be technically a downside setup if it did fire off exactly right now. But you can see that the stochastic momentum pivot is where it's almost directly in alignment with the last major local high, which is 102,325. So if Bitcoin does close above there in the next 3.5 days, you're very likely to see volatility expansion. And then at that point, anytime that we've seen this setup, which there's been 16 prior ones in Bitcoin's history, every time, it actually has not failed once. Every time it has it has gone on to have a pretty nice positive gaining, I guess, stint, if you want to call it that. Now, am I suggesting that this setup's going to work out for forever? No, it's not going to have 100% hit rate for forever. I mean, I don't think anything will. But it is relevant as it is still relevant to my interests, even as it is. Looking at the average return here and median return, basically both at 42, and the average amount of time taken about 34 days. There is a lot of variance in the time taken, by the way. Have seen these take up to about 60 days to the next major high. But again, 35 days from today would put us where? End of February. And if Bitcoin were to go for one of these monstrous moves, I mean, 40%-ish puts Bitcoin at 140,000. So I'm coming up with areas now of interest for the future, assuming that these setups just do not get invalidated, which we've gone over criteria for all of these prior ones. But it's good to see that all of these things are kind of working hand in hand. Now, I also want to put that into context, of course, for January monthly returns. Now, January is, I think it's safe to say January very likely does close positively. And we do actually have stats for, what the average returns are in January for positive closing months, which is about 23%. The median return was about 1360. Oh my God, my dyslexia is actually insane. 1635. I am the retarded person here. Anyways, when I go back into it over here, we already obviously have the open for January. What would 20% plus look like on price? That put Bitcoin on new all-time highs, 112,000. So perhaps that's an end of January target. If it goes for closer to the median, 16% puts Bitcoin basically around the current all-time high at 108,000 bucks. So anywhere between these two numbers by end of month would really set up and greenlight all the other things that we're looking at down the road, basically with a major area of interest around 130,000. 240,000, probably sometime around the end of February. And then we come back to it after that. Is there anything else that I want to speak about right here? Yes, of course, we have the most important setup of them all, the moon phases. The moon phases have come back again, and they're saving your crypto coins. Have fun with your crypto coins and other things you also are playing with, says our paraphrased from our current or incoming president. Either which way you look at it, again, I know people fucking hate this, but it is interesting, at least in my opinion, because statistics are statistics. There's lies, damn lies, and statistics. And in this case, if you would have just opened a long every time that there was a full moon, closed that long every time that there was a new moon, you would have had these stats for the past, I think almost full history of Bitcoin, or at least 10 years, about 58% strike rate, which I think is probably better than, I don't want to denigrate anyone out there, but I think it's better than most people, to be fair. It's like the moons are better than most people, most logical people at trading, I guess. Anyways, the average winning trade for this, 14.5% almost. The average losing trade about 7%. This one already obviously fired off, and that was on Monday, which was essentially the low. It's not essentially low. That was the low. That was the low. And of course, that gives us a time and returns to kind of look at. If this one does happen to the upside, 14% to the upside would put Bitcoin where? 108,000 bucks. And 15 days, because all these signals right here take 15 days for the moon strategy, would put us where? That would put us the last couple days of January. Again, that goes hand in hand with the prior stats that we were just looking at right here. It's not to say that it's 100% guaranteed, but when you do see a lot of things align with each other, I think it does increase the probability of them happening. Even though I don't actually, I wouldn't have like literal proof of that, but that would be my intuition. Anyways, that's what I have. That's what I have as far as setups goes. I did want to bring up a couple last minute things here though, just because, one, if you're watching this video at a later time, please consider subscribing. You can get these videos each and every day. Well, maybe not a live stream, but you can get like a normal video every day. And then also the last thing here is Coinbase. Coinbase is very interesting to me as well, because I want to see Coinbase generally be good as long as Bitcoin is good. And well, it's almost exactly as we said for this month. Comes down to the red 5 exponential average and then has a nice bounce up. I mean, as long as it's above there, I treat this as an uptrend in motion. same shit as Bitcoin right here. And you can see now with Bitcoin back above $100,000, the 5 exponential is nearly pulled to the bottom wick of this month now. So that fulfills my conditions as far as what we wanted to see for a correction during this month. And, if you're going to be bullish, I think there's good reason to be. Obviously, be aware of your risk, be aware of what can happen. Again, Bitcoin could come down to $95,000 and still be a higher low in the short term. It is quite common to pull back after retesting a prior local high. So I wouldn't rule that out. But the long-term sort of trajectory is seeming to get really nailed in here, which is, good to see, at least in my opinion. Anyways, before I shut this video off, I should also let you know that I brought back the Blofin link in the description below. Blofin is an exchange. It's a no KYC exchange, which I know a lot of people are interested in for who knows what reason. And more importantly, this specific link will get you 15% cash back on your trading, meaning that you essentially get a 15% fee reduction, which is actually, at least in my experience, very, very nice, because any sort of fee reduction just means more money in your pocket. So if you're looking to lock that in for the lifetime of your account, you can just grab the link. You don't have to even use the account, but if you grab it, then you potentially have that option in the future. And I should also let you know my plans for it. Right now, it's a 15% cashback. If you remember when I first brought this one out, it was just 10%. Then it went to 15%. I think if we can get more people on the link, then I can go to my representative at Blofin and say, how about 20%, sir? How about 20% cash back, actually? And of course, it'll, just like the last one, apply retroactively to anyone who gets on as well. So we'll see how that goes, and I'll shut this video off at that moment. That's enough shilling for one day. And perhaps we'll see you at a live stream in the future. And we'll continue on now with the live stream. So take care and much love. Very nice. Okay. Very nice. Okay. Very nice. Okay. That was interesting. All right. Time for some sippy sips. No shills, please see. They have to shill the links, says Mr. Invalidates. Yeah, man. It's part of my contract. I don't actually have a contract. Anyways, your swearing makes my day. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Blofin. Yep. I'm gay for the moon, says Erica Krown Nano Kid. I am gay for the moons for the moons as well. West coast of Florida, Venice. I've heard good things about Venice as well. All of the places in Florida honestly look good to me. That's the problem with it is it's just how about all of them? How about all of them? Around Earth says I speak Moongaloo. The moon tells me things. I would like to be on the Moongaloo. Can you bluff in my nanos? No, but I can bluff in your dick. Let's check out. Okay, let's see. I actually do want to check on XRP. I know a lot of people are already asking about this just because it made new all-time highs for the first time in, 6 or 7 years yesterday. Is it on new all-time highs right now? Yeah, basically. Might as well be. Not bad. Not bad. Here's a very poetic thing that I did not think I would be seeing. Has XRP saved this market? XRP is the strongest one. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. But I mean, did XRP save this market? That's just wild, man. That's just wild to think about. All right, I'll pull up the chats over here that Elsa's already sent me. Let me scroll back up. Holy shit, there's already a lot. Holy fucking moly. Jesus, man. Okay. All right. We'll see how many we get through. Steven Schickman says, Doggy Daily Weekly, are new highs close? Well, let's check it out.
Do you still want me to keep them open?
You can keep them open. I mean, I have an off day today anyway, so I can do whatever. Looking at yes, I do think so. I mean, this is a powerful bullish consolidation right here. I don't necessarily have an opinion on whether it's going to break out like today or tomorrow or this week, but I would say over the next month, yeah, you're very likely to see new all-time highs. Basically anything above 30 cents, as we said before, because I remember you asked about this one either last week or earlier this week, but anything above 30 cents is going to be long-term bullish, and I mean, it's well above 30 cents right now. Monthly, it's nearly the same sort of idea as Bitcoin. You have to reconnect with the 5 exponential. If it wants to break out, later this month, I guess near the end of the month, or perhaps early February, it should have a chance to do that. Again, 30 cents is the line in the sand. As long as you're above there, I'd be bullish, or even as long as you're just above the above Monday's low, this Monday's low. As long as you're above there, fair enough. Good. Should follow through. But I wouldn't be looking for a short-term breakout to the upside until you actually see this back above this last local high from the 4th of January, which is kind of where it's at right now, 40 cents or so. All right. Moving on, Steven Schickman's back. He's looking at Ethereum daily weekly. Awesome, man. Let's see. Do you want to go to the weekly first? I mean, Ethereum is relatively weak compared to everything else, which is unfortunate. But do I think that Ethereum is not going to follow the rest of the market? No, I do think that it will follow the rest of the market. Can I populate my damn moving averages here? There we go. Yeah, you can see this one dropped well below that red 5 exponential moving average on the monthly, just kind of showing it does have relative weakness. It's going to require a strong broad market to really get this one going. But similar to Doggy Coin, I would generally be bullish in this as long as you're above, let's call it 3150, that is 3150, just to be 100% clear. But it's just not as interesting as many other things. I think in the short term, even I would be a lot more interested in this thing if it traded back above 3720-ish region, just this last lower high here from the 6th of January. But what I generally think this one's going to do is I think it's going to take its time. It's going to do something like this, and then maybe like middle of February it actually tries an upside move. But it's not going to lead the market. It doesn't look like it really hasn't led the market at any point since this news cycle began in 2023. So I think Ethereum is just taking a backseat to everything else, and it is what it is. Sorry, Mr. Vitalik Buterin or Buterol, whatever the fuck your name is. Anyways, Ray now says, hope you're well. Hope you're well as well, sir. Please share the BNB chart, the BNB chart for the BNB Binance coin. Yeah, pretty good here. In a very solid and nice uptrend. Just put in another higher low this week in a series of higher lows. This one among the better charts I think we'll see today, actually. Weekly trending above all major moving averages. I mean, I'm just generally going to be bullish on something like this, especially as long as you're above Monday's low. Just anywhere here, anywhere like 680, as long as you're above there, this thing is primed for upside. Just to put it bluntly, usually I don't like to be super direct like that, but yeah, I mean, it doesn't need to be that fucking complicated for this thing. If we go down to a lower term time frame as you asked for, short term, I mean, you've already kind of had a bit of a pullback yesterday, so perhaps this one does another short-term move to the upside, like 730-ish region, but I don't think it's ready to trend to new highs this week. Perhaps it does give a legitimate try next week, but again, line in the sand is Monday's low. As long as you're above there, I'd just generally be bullish. If you do take out that low, I would not be bullish. I would be bullish for a while, but yeah, not bad. Not bad for the BNB corns. Pierce M says, please look at Woo 4-hour and daily. Woo. Yes, I think this is an exchange token as well. As you can see, compared to BNB coin, not as popular of an exchange, I think. Looking at it right here, similar sort of thing. It's like, can you be bullish as long as it's above Monday's low? Yeah, you can, but you can also see that this one is relatively weaker compared to a couple, some of the other stuff that we've already that we've already seen today. I just hate charts like this that don't go into like legitimate long-term weekly, monthly uptrends during real bull markets. I mean, that's to me always a warning sign. But do I think it's going to work its way up from here? Yeah, it's just. I think pound for pound, it's not going to be gaining as much as other things. And in the short term, I mean, maybe it continues on with this rally towards 23, 24 cents, but I don't think it's breaking out like this week or nothing like that. But yeah, as long as you're above Monday's low, generally be bullish, but bullish compared to other things, not as much. Anyways, moving on. Pierce M says, Krown, I love you long time. I can't sleep without peeping. You speak about Magic Internet Moomy. Please look at FA coin short on long term. FAI coin. Okay, FAI coin. Gotcha. I see the correction right there. No problem. This one is Very interesting. What the fuck? It just jumped up a shit ton in one day there. What's going on here? Okay, it has something weird's going on here. Let me find a different chart because that does not look right. This one also does not look right because it has barely any fucking history, man. You should know if you've been here for a long time. We need long history to do any sort of real analysis. There is no long term or short term for something that's been around for a week, a week and a half. Okay, I lied. It's a week and a half, not 1 week. Yeah, man, I don't have any opinion on this chart. If you had an exchange that has more history, maybe we have. No, this is not going to work. Yeah. I don't have any opinion on that. It needs like a couple more years of history before we even really start to look seriously at it. And you want to look at index crypto? What is this? Index USD? I guess. Okay. All right. A new one for me as well. And not a great one, not a terrible one. Did have a nice 2024 rally, did not make new highs in December, however, so it is relatively weak compared to a lot of other things. But is it bearish here? No, it's not bearish. It's bullish. It is in a consolidation range. There's your highs, there's your lows. I think you can kind of treat this similarly to some of the other things that we've looked at today, as long as you're above Monday's low. I'd generally be looking for some sideways and up, but I don't think this one's going to be breaking out of $5 anytime soon. I think you're going to spend a lot of time doing something like this. I think it's going to be a lot of that, honestly. Yeah, not the worst, not the best, just not super interesting, to be honest. But not bearish, I don't think. Again, as long as you're above Monday's low, just not bearish. Anyways. Oh, Hanzo says, "Sup, sir? Hello, good sir. Please WTI on the weekly and daily." Sure. WTI. This is crude. I hate looking at oil. I really do. Or are you looking at this? I'm guessing you're looking at crude. Let's go to a little bit of a longer running chart. If I had to call it, it's going to go up. If I had to call it, it's going to go up. Assuming that this is the one that you want to look at, but maybe you're talking about some sort of nameless cryptocurrency coin. No, there is no WTI USD, so I guess that goes out the window there. But yeah, do I think that this one is going to head up from here? Yes, I do. I'm guessing probably even you do not have divergence on the lows, but I do think that this one will move back up towards your range highs, like 90-ish, 90 to 95 region in the coming months. Erica Krown Nano Cave says, "Please, sir, look at shitcoin with no history when long." Yes. You understand my you understand me, sir. How could you not with your name like Erica Krown? Justin Meyer says, "Coin daily weekly." Let's go check that one out. I am we kind of looked a little bit at it earlier, but I always like looking at coin. Like I said, it's one of the few stocks that I do own, individual stocks that I do own. And again, monthly, as long as it's above the 5 exponential, it is bullish. You could even go as far to say that as long as it's above this month's low, just it's upside. It doesn't mean it's going to be a straight fucking moonshot from here, but sideways and up, likely the name of the game. Current consolidation range would be about 295 high versus, let's call it 250 low. As long as you're between there, I'd be treating this one as likely to resolve to the upside, but probably not this month, maybe more like February. The weekly is pretty damn close here to confirming a bullish engulfing dildo. So, I would be looking for this one to try again to the upside probably next week if that does get confirmed. If it does trade back above your Monday high, Monday of the 6th of January, I should add, which was 293.5, then I would be looking for this one to make a nice leg up somewhere around 320 to 330-ish region. And that sets it up for continuation into February. What are you sighing about?
Did you start from up?
Yes, I started from up.
Really?
I started from up, so stop it. Anyways, yes, I did doggy. Yes, obviously. Anyways, again, as long as you're above Monday's lows, man, I have a feeling I might be saying this a lot during this stream. I'm just going to be bullish on this. Monthly, I still like. Quarterly, I still like. all higher term timeframes are still like, so we shall see. If it's going to move, it very likely moves, I would say, latest in February. And if you don't see it move by then okay, that perhaps is a concerning signal. But until then, I would still remain bullish on this. Base 4267 says ski mask dog daily weekly. Okay. I thought you were speaking hood to me or something. Putting on a ski mask dog. Bad. I mean, again, not a lot of history here, just over a month. So really going off of very little, but it is not a good sign when something only goes down during a bull market. But, you know, these sort of illiquid shitcoins can pop out of nowhere and put in some pretty crazy gains. But, you know, when I see something like this, man, I'm never gonna like it at first sight. Do I think it's bottomed here? I mean, I'm never gonna call a bottom because this thing does not even have like, it's not even bouncing really just yet. I would call a bottom. I would be extremely bullish on this thing if it could trade back above your January the 4th highs. Until then, I mean, don't disregard trend. Trend can very easily be something like that. Could easily pop up to like 25 to even 30 cents and then, or sorry, maybe not 30 cents, but like a quarter, and then come back down, continue on with the downtrend. I just don't trust stuff that looks like this, that doesn't have that much history. Anyways, let's see. We have Enema. He says, howdy, sir. Good morning to you. Could you do hat versus soul? Okay. I think this is a new one. Nah, nothing seems to be popping up. Maybe hat soul? Hat soul. Okay, that actually did work, funnily enough. Better than the last chart, I'll tell you that. Better than the last chart. Does have a nice uptrend here. Again, your Monday low is going to be a nice pivot point as long as you're above there. Just generally bullish. Should go up and to the right. Not a whole hell of a lot of history, but at least for the history that it does have, it goes up, which is a good sign. So, you know, I wouldn't get super excited about any sort of like major, massive breakout just yet. But if you do trade above 11 cents, yeah, this thing's going to go for a very, 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 very nice run, I suspect. Yeah, there's not a monthly to look at. I don't know why the fuck I'm even looking at this time frame for this highly esteemed piece of technology. Hat soul. It's my animal with hat. Animal with hat would be a great meme coin, actually. All right. Let's see. Dan says, oh, you're looking at a 4 hour. Sorry. Yeah, 4 hour short term. I think it gives another try to the upside towards like 10 cents, maybe. Maybe it even goes for a little, an actual breakout from there, but somewhere around 10 cents maybe in the short term. Okay, Justin Kaiser, or sorry, no, I skipped it down. Dan says AI16Z. Okay, AI16 derp. All right. What is this one doing? Yeah, not as interesting for a shitcoin as well to me, to be honest. Again, you have your highs, or sorry, the high side of your range. You have the low side of your range. You know, Monday's low is going to be a pivot point, and yeah, technically, I can be bullish as long as it's above Monday's low, but I just have a hard time trusting a lot of these meme shitcoins. I think in the short term, this one actually might come back down. Try for a higher low. If you do see a higher low, then okay, I'd switch around to being a little more optimistic on this. But hard one to love as long as you're below 164, this last lower high. You know, in the short term, I do think that this one probably does try for some downside. And again, if it wants to put in a higher low, 113, 114 area is kind of where I'd be looking towards. Just do not want to see it below Monday's low. Otherwise, otherwise it's continuation of trend, which is to the downside, unfortunately. Anyways, Justin Kaiser says, hello, crypto Captain Krown. Bad alliteration there, sir. Bad acronym there, sir. Is XRP about to take us to Detroit, Dump City, or El de Lamboville? I haven't heard When Lambo in a long fucking time, man. Do you remember When Lambo? Mm-hmm. You do remember When Lambo. Do you know what When Lambo means? Mm-hmm. What does it mean?
When am I getting one?
When am I getting one? That's exactly right. It's exactly that.
I think Rose is better.
Elsa says, I think Rolls is better. I do think that this thing probably does continue a little bit more from here before you see a pullback. It got up to about 339. I think it goes a little bit more towards $3.50, and that would be a good short-term pullback region. But overall, this is a macro breakout. If it was going to be rejected, you would have expected last month's shooting star dildo here to have had follow through to the downside, and it didn't even get anywhere near last month's low. So this one is relatively strong. Great picture of relative strength. Like I said, I think it continues a little bit more in the short term towards 3.5. You probably see a short term pullback from there, but February, this thing's primed for, continuation. If this thing wanted to trade towards $4.5, $5, that would be fine. That would be fine. I mean, that would be reasonable. If you do see it kind of close basically on new all-time highs to end out this month in January. So we'll see. But yeah, I think you're closer to El Lamboville than Detroit Dump City. You're a little bit closer to there. Cameron Malpe says PP on the daily and weekly. I PP daily. Let's see what this one's looking like. Still doing the sideways range, still doing basically the LARP lines right here. Maybe I didn't time it exactly right, but something like this, yeah. Again, this one would be a bit of a stronger altcoin. This one is a stronger shitcoin. It does have a long-term uptrend. You do have that, so that definitely sets it apart from most things. Monday's low was back here. Okay, that's not even a number I'm going to repeat, but somewhere down around there. As long as you're above there, I'm generally going to be bullish on this. It does have a much better history compared to most shitcoins. But I'm very wary of these shitcoins. I do think that the shitcoins, or the meme coins at least, they're not going to be the big winners during this next phase of the market cycle. I think it's quite obvious what will be the big winners, which is AI shit. That's just the narrative right now. The memes were so last year, late to the party. But yeah, if it does trade back above your late December high, which was this little thing right here, then okay, yeah, it's gonna retest prior all-time highs and maybe make new all-time highs. But I'm very, very skeptical of these things, to be honest. But if any one of the shit coins is gonna, or any one of the meme coins is gonna actually have a nice upside move, it'd be this one. This one is stronger for sure, and has a good history, to be fair, as well. Anyways, thinking about the name, says SAI USD. I actually have this one on my list, and I believe we spoke about it a couple weeks ago. Someone pointed out on stream. This is why I love doing these streams as well. It's very selfish, but people will point out these random shit coins that I have no idea what they are and that I never see. And then it's like, oh, it has a nice chart. And I think someone brought it up like back here. It's like, this looks good. This looks good. And well, it continues to be good, I suppose. This one breaking out to new all-time highs, like in the last couple of days, I think it's just starting. I think that this one continues from here. We can maybe pull a Fibonacci extension just to get some areas of interest to the upside. You're already at the first one, just below 11 cents. The next one would be 13.5. Above there, you got 17.5. I do think it will get to 17.5. And if things get really crazy, maybe you see a quarter, or a little bit above a quarter. But yeah, overall, very, very nice. Again, as long as you're above even Wednesday's low, as long as you're above there, I'm generally going to be bullish on this. I'd generally be looking up and to the right. Yeah. Anyways, we have base 4267. He says super champs. Champ daily weekly. Okay, champ. There's another really good one that people, or that someone brought up a couple weeks ago as well. Perhaps we'll cover it a little bit later in this chat here. Terrible, absolutely fucking terrible, man. Like, you literally picked the worst chart of the day on a day where most things are bullish as fuck. And for that we have a nuke. Why no streaming feminists? Would you like me to find them? All right. Well, do I have them here? Where are my screaming feminists? Hold on. You can't find them because you don't know you don't know how to work the internet. I will find it if it's the last thing that I do. I found it. You didn't. So, all right.
I like the nuke too.
She's not very inspired. That is not the encore. The encore is coming up. This is what that chart looks like. Bunch of screaming fat lesbians making monkey noises. This is the encore. See, that's the problem. That's the problem with today's society. We have a tyranny. We have a tyranny of butch lesbians in bureaucratic positions of power. That's a real issue with today. Why actually is everyone who works in the government in California either gay or a lesbian? How is that possible? Like, what is the probability of that? I mean, I guess it is California, so your probability is going to be higher than compared to the rest of the nation. But it is an interesting thought experiment to be having. Reggie Classic says, "I've missed their sweet voices." I miss the abundance guy too. I hope he's still doing his thing. Anyways, this chart, I mean, look, it's garbage. Maybe gets a pop here and there, just like it has here, here, and here. But all of these fail, so I have no reason to believe that anything in the future is going to succeed until the trend reverses. And right now, you are a continuation of a long-term macro downtrend to hell. This one's going to shitcoin hell. I wouldn't even consider this thing as potential to reverse until you even get it back above your October highs. This like spike high right here, which you can see the screams of all the bullishly impaled bungholes on this wick as it goes down, 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 rejecting the whole way through. Terrible, just terrible, man. Anyways, thinking about the name, says total 3 short term. Okay. Whoops, maybe I spelled that properly. There we go. Very good. Very, very good. The crypto coin market seems to be in a good place. Short term, I do think that it spikes a little bit higher, maybe towards 1.1 trillion. I do think you will see a short term pullback there. I don't know if it's going to be a huge pullback, but it should be known that this thing is above. It's above its early January highs. So again, uptrend is in motion here. At some point, you're going to pull back and set in a higher low, but this thing can continue a little bit more first, like I said, closer to here, and then pull back. And even if it pulls back, even if it were to pull back all the way to like 102 trillion, that's still a higher low. I'm not saying it's going to pull all the way back there, but even if it did, that's completely fine. Anyways, Daddio said, Tesla, please. It is a stock on NASDAQ. Ah, yes, I think I've heard of this one. Maybe it is made by the Elon Musk, something like that. I think maybe some people know him somewhere. Anyways, good. I mean, we were bullish on this one, I believe, earlier on this month or late December. I'd still be bullish on it. Technically, I want to see the monthly close above your November of 2021 high, which it's pretty much exactly at right now. I want to see the monthly close above there. And then at that point, I think you get another shot towards 500 rather quickly. And I would actually be looking maybe somewhere between very, very deep 500s to maybe even as much as 690 to 700. Again, this is a monthly look. Like this would take a long time to complete, but it is knocking on like a major, massive breakout here. So those are always fun times. If I go down into the daily time frame, I would say I would just generally be having a bullish disposition on this one as long as you're above 378 on a closing basis. Disrespect the trend. Anyways, Anima says Solana versus Ethereum. Okay, Sol ETH. And let's see if this one's still put in a top here. It is having a bounce. We did say it was likely to bounce. I guess that's just a testament to how shitty Ethereum is compared. but I still don't think that this is actually going to continue on here. But to be fair, I mean, you do you do still have weekly higher lows. It is still in an uptrend on the weekly and monthly. On daily, no, it's in a downtrend. But what I think will happen with this one is you'll see it pop up a little bit more, maybe close to 0.07 region, put in a lower high there, and then turn back down. I'm still looking at this as a major macro high, to be honest. But if I'm wrong on it, I'm going to be massively wrong on it because it'll break out and fill that wick faster than I can create a new video, honestly. So if you see this thing really start to close back above this region right here, this circle region, I'm going to be wrong. Until then, yes, it is still an uptrend, but this just has a lot of markings of a major macro top to me. So I would still be cognizant of that. But yeah, in the short term, should continue to the upside at least a little bit more. Anyways, thinking about the name, says AVAX versus the dollar. All right, we have 2021 shitcoins coming back into the mix. And is there any hopium? I mean, there's always hopium, but just compared to everything else, just very uninteresting. Here's a real chart, not on log scale. Where's your current weekly range? High 45, low 35 on a closing basis. As long as you're between there, should get another try to the upside. Just, I don't see it as strong as other things that we've looked at. The strong ones are already making new highs above their January highs, or at least retesting those highs. The weak ones are not. And this one would be a little bit on the relatively weaker side. So, do I think it's going to break out from here? I think it's going to go more sideways for a while and then try for a breakout to the upside. If the rest of the market is strong, this one will follow, but it won't lead. If it can break above $45, then yeah, I'd be looking for this thing not to go on like a massive run, but 60-ish, and then come back to it after that. And just like all of the other ones, I guess I'd generally be bullish on it just based off of market conditions, as long as you're above $35 on a closing basis. And having a pretty heroic reclaim of all major moving averages this week as well. So I do think that it will try again to the upside. It's just not that strong. Not that strong, sir. Emmanuel B says, my sexy Paleolithic virtual protocol lav. Lav. All right. This one is virtuals, I think it was. Yeah. Because I know that we've looked at this one a couple times before. Yeah, really impressive run right there. But how's this one? Oh, wow. LARP line's playing out very, very well. But the question is, after the LARP line plays out, what happens next? Well, I don't think it's ready to trend to new all-time highs just yet. I do think it's going to be stuck in this consolidation range for a while. Maybe it comes back down closer to like 270 or $2.50. But as long as it's above your January low, again, Monday's low, I'm going to be bullish on something like this. Yes, it's a fucking crazy parabolic chart, but it's a lot easier to be a bull on a parabolic chart because that's more likely to continue than not. But when I go here to the weekly, like I do think that this thing has already topped out or is topping out very soon, honestly. But technically I should give it a chance right here. And I will be wrong on it topping out if you see it back above 440 or 444. Until then, give it a chance to go sideways, give it a chance to bounce. If it reclaims that region on the bounce, okay, fair enough. I guess new all-time highs, and this thing gets to blow off its top twice in the span of a couple months. But Jesus, yeah, this one makes it hard in my opinion. But it is the right sector for the hotness right now. It's in the AI sector, I'm guessing, based off the name. I really do think that this one probably does come down, honestly. I don't think it's going to be making new all-time highs from here, but if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Anyways, thinking about the name, says Doggy USD. Yep, we got that one earlier, so good there. Stefan Milicevic says, ring ring haro, simps and virgins. No, it's pimps and vegans nowadays, I think. Miss those intros. Happy Friday to you as well, sir. SPY Daily Weekly. Oh, nice. We have some real stocks. I'm actually going to look at the SPY futures, if that's cool, because it's basically the same thing. And it's just, I think a little bit better data set. To be fair on SPY, you do have a downtrend here, high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Would this be your next lower high? Perhaps yes, if it is going to be. But my opinion is that this thing is actually putting in a low right here. My opinion is that this thing is putting in a low at 58.69, and assuming that today, which is going to close out Friday, which closes out the weekly, closes above 59.69. Let's just call it, it would be a little bit easier if it was like a round even number, like 6,000, but 59.69, it is a great number nonetheless. But that to me would say, hey, this thing is going to maybe not next week make new highs or retest highs, but it should trade sideways and up from there. And again, this Monday's low would be a big pivot point on price action, meaning that I'm just going to be bullish as long as it's above that low. If it takes out that low to the downside, okay, yeah, fair enough. Probably comes down a decent amount more towards like 5,600 or so. But until that happens, I think that a lot of these have been opportunities. Same shit here on the monthly as well. It's still trending above the red 5 exponential moving average. So I don't want to get bearish here because I've studied SPY for a long time, over the long time as well. And you really can't underestimate how long these up phases go on for. Like, people have been looking at this chart on linear scale since like here and being like, oh my God, this is a bubble. It's going to pop. It's going down to like fucking 1,000, 2,000, whatever the hell it is. But if you actually study the full history of the SPX, which you can get data all the way back to the 1800s, these are very much par for the course in terms of rallies. I'm not saying it's going to go on for forever, but do not underestimate the time and length that these marks can stay up. Anyways, we have, thinking about the name next, he's looking at AIOZ. AIOZ, yes, okay. Nice, all right. And we go back here. I guess actually okay. I do see a higher low from this week on Monday. Again, that would be a great pivot point to be managing off of. Looks like the LARP lines pretty much got this one too. Again, not the correct timing, but close enough. I don't really think that I can do correct timing. It's too fucking difficult to do anyways, but sideways and up from here, man. Especially as long as you're above Monday's low, I'd just be bullish on this thing. It's like, just follow the trend. Weekly's in a nice uptrend. Do I think it's going to break out this week? No, I don't think it's going to break out this week, but going sideways here above Monday's low does set it up for a breakout probably in February. Above 117.5, this thing, should go on a pretty nice run towards probably like 140, 150-ish region, maybe more over time too. Monthly, same shit here as well. So yeah, not bad. And then you're also looking at SUI, but short term. Okay, I know SUI's been coming up a lot recently. I did call a top on SUI, or like it really does still look like a top to me here. It really does still look like a top to me. But in the short term, it does look like it wants to try for a bit of a bounce. But I would still be looking at this as a likely top as long as you're below about 523, 5.25 region. It's just has so many markers of a major top. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm fucking super wrong on this one, and it trends all the way up to like $6-7. But very difficult place. It did not hit my official criteria for reversal. Did not close below your 8th of January low. It did wick below there, but no closure below there. So, but you can see in the short term it is a little bit more on the weaker side. Compared to other things, because I would have expected this thing to already be retesting highs alongside most other things if it is indeed going to be leading the market again. Anyways, if you're just specifically focused on the short term, here is your short term range. Let me just do it exactly for this. Boom, highs, and your lows right there or around there. You're in the middle of the range. Do I have a bias on direction here? It's so weird. RSI read. I actually don't have a bias on this. If I had to call it, I would say this. I'm just looking for sideways here, man. If it trades back above yesterday's high, okay, I'm wrong. It's gonna try for another move towards 5.25. If it trades above there, then I'm really wrong about this thing topping out. But again, lots of signals here of a major high. I mean, you do have weekly bearish divergence building. 5-day, weekly, you're coming off extremes here. Yes, it is already coming down a good amount, but 5-day Jewel is getting a downside signal. So, it's either topped out here, or if it does continue for a little bit more, maybe just a slightly new high. But I do think that this one is in the process of putting in a high here. and then probably comes back to life later on. I'd like to see another reconnect with that red moving average before I really look for this one to potentially have another, major massive move to the upside. Yeah. Elsa, can you fill my water, please? Maybe you do it. There you go. Ha ha ha. Yes, you sound like a canary. Anyways, Ethereum, short and long term. I think we looked at that one earlier as well, but I didn't really do short term. So let's go back here. Short term, sideways. Short term probably tries another move to the upside, but it's just, again, compared to a lot of other things, it's not a market leader. It is relatively weak, and it still has lower lows and lower highs here as well. So I think it trades in this range between 3750 to the upside versus 3100 to the downside for a while. Very, very short term, maybe it tries a short term upside move towards like 35. It's possible. It's just, I think it's very uninteresting. There's much easier charts out there on a day like today. Kitos. Nice. Got some water. The best water. Snacks says, hello, Krown. Please check the UFD full hour and daily. Okay. Oh, some caffeine coming up right there. Actually pretty good. Surprisingly very good. It does have a nice uptrend, and I can't hate on that. I mean, it is breaking out to new all-time highs today. I would have to say that this rally very likely continues. Maybe we can come up with an area of interest on this rally. Short term, probably 31 cents. Maybe more long term, 37. Bullish as long as you're above Thursday's low. So yesterday's low. Crazy one, but yeah, an example of a stronger meme coin. Anyways. Mr. Ivo says, GM sir, MK'd, okay, MK'd. All right, it's a new one. It's only on BitDerp. Let me go to a daily, perhaps. That'd be good. Oh, it is. It's a very long-term one, it has a very long-term history. To me, it's very obviously consolidating here, and it's very obviously putting in a low, and should try the next move to the upside. Wouldn't be surprised to see this one at like 3 1/3 or maybe even 3.5 cent. And if it can actually start to close above 3, let's call it 3.5, 375 region, I'd say that this thing retests highs, probably makes new all-time highs. But anywhere between here in a consolidation range, again, I'd say it's just generally going to be long-term good. It's just, it can spend some time within that region. But short-term, I do think it actually tries an upside move here. Surprising on this one, actually. Crypto Rect says, I love you, Sir Krown. I love you too, sir. Mode USD. Mode. Okay. Mode. All right. Mode network. Okay. I mean, not terrible. Like, at least it had a rally in 2024. So I wouldn't put it in like the total shitcoin basket. Looking at this right here, top side of your range, 5.5, bottom side of your range, very far away at just over 3. I do think you officially will test the top side of this region right here at 5.5 region. I do think you pull back a little bit from there as well, but this one's already traded above its last local high from early January. So pullback should be a higher low. Pullback should result in a legitimate breakout attempt to the upside above 5.5 cent. And at that point, I mean, we can do extensions here, but just as areas of interest to the upside, I guess 7 cents. Maybe if things get really crazy, closer to 8 cents. But yeah, it's a pretty fucking massive move for something like this, to be fair. Anyways, let's see. We have Hugo E. He says, hello, sir. Can you check out Litecoin weekly and monthly? All right. Litecoin. Yes, the Litecoins. Still holding whatever this consolidation range that I marked off from many moons ago, like a year ago. I do think it is going to test the top side of this range. I do think if it's ever going to break out, now is the time. Now is the time for it to do it. 150 should get a try up there. Personally, I do think it will break out from there. We see the monthly jewels getting a really, really strong signal right there. So, if this would be its chance, and I do think, oh my God, and I do think you'll see somewhere around like, 200 at least. And then come back to it after that. Yeah, I think very, very likely to break out to the upside here in the next, like in February. Crypto Rect says Imperial Exchange. Okay. Imperial. All right. Found it. More history than what I would have expected, honestly. And we do have a nice uptrend for that history. So that is always going to be a better sign than not. And a very, very strong move off of Monday's low, even above the last prior local high. So this thing it's doing it. It's doing it. Like I said, you're going to get a pullback at some point, just like many of these things. Maybe it moves up a little bit north of $400 first, but you will get a pullback at some point, but you just have to be looking for a higher low, man. This thing I do think that this thing is ready. You have a weekly bullish engulfing dildo. If it closes anywhere above last week's high, which is 339.5, it might not be next week, might not be the week after that, but very soon it will be breaking out to new all-time highs. I would say like very end of January if that happens. Just good. Very, very nice. Anyways, Dammy says hype USD any time frame you wish. All right, I have it on my list over here. It does seem to be putting in a low, but still downtrend the whole way through. So I'm not a big fan of that. Where's your last trending high? That would be right here, 26.25. Could trade all the way up to 26.25, and it's still be a downtrend. That's the problem with something like this, because you have lower lows the whole way through. But if I'm just looking at the short term, I do think it will try to the upside. I do think it will get a rally towards like 25.25, and then I guess give it a chance from there to reclaim this high. If it does, then you perhaps have a real reversal on your hands. If it doesn't, then well, it's wrecked. Yeah. All right. Crypto Shart says, hello, I'm retarded. Hello, retarded. I am also retarded. Can you please H-bar on the 4-day? On the 4-day? You really are retarded. No, I'm kidding. I mean, we can look at the 4-day if you really want, but I don't really care for the 4-day. This one's breaking out already. I mean, you're getting your first pullback after making new highs on this rally. It could pull all the way back to 33.5. And I'd look at that as an opportunity, just a retest of the breakout region. Ultimately, I think that this one will retest your prior all-time highs or around there, like 45, 47 cents. And you're very likely to get a pullback there as well. Holy shit, these LARP lines working well. Maybe it does something like this, boom, pulls back, maybe retests here, spends a little bit of time going sideways, and then tries a real legitimate move to the upside. But, an example of a stronger one, here. Certainly bullish as long as you're above yesterday's low. So I'd just be generally looking somewhere right around there. And, you're probably going to pull back from there, but it's higher low watch after that. What does a monthly look like? I'm curious. Yeah, good. I mean, again, this is going to be a pullback area over here, but long term, not bad. Not bad. VC says, hey, Krown, Griffane. Okay, all right. Ooh, man. All right. Good. Again, when you compare a chart like this that's only ever really gone up versus many of the other shitcoin charts that we've seen today that only ever go down, I think it becomes very clear, like, you don't need to be in the shit. I mean, you can be wherever you want, obviously, but I would prefer not to be in the shit. Griffani, whatever the fuck this thing is or whatever the fuck this thing does, I'd be bullish as long as it's above today's low. As long as it's above there, I do think that this move continues trending to the upside. I don't have any real targets for something like this because it is very, very new, but you're a weekly bullish engulfing dildo as of right now. Very likely this thing does fall through. Very likely this thing, is going to trade. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see it like 80 cents a buck, whatever the fuck it ends up being, in the next month or two. But strong move for a new thing. In fact, I'm going to write this one down as well. Maybe this is an interesting one. Let's see. What is the mark cap on something like this? Griffani is what is it called again? Griffan. Jesus, stupid ass name. 500 million. Interesting. Not bad. Not bad. I like things that generally go up. That is always a good sign. All right. Let's see. CZ says Hood weekly. I'm guessing this is Robinhood, like the real stock. And let's go to monthly first. Wow. It's like a shitcoin chart, but it might actually turn out well. You know, just like many things, when they retest prior major macro highs, which this one is essentially right here, very likely to get a pullback. I mean, you kind of already got a pullback last month, so maybe this one is actually already ready. You know what? I guess maybe it is ready. Bullish engulfing dildo on the weekly. Actually, I think last month was a pullback from that. This thing is ready to make new highs on this rally, probably 50 plus. I don't have any real projections on something like this, but I'd just be generally bullish. I mean, as long as you're above this week's low, the breakout is real. The bullish engulfing dildo is real. Respect the dildo, respect the rally, and yeah, 50, 55, probably where I'd be looking towards. All right, we have Lori Brenner, and you're asking about OMI. Thoughts on OMI? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Okay. Someone's got to nuke these women. Yeah, that's my thoughts. Yep. G-Rod says XCN USD. A new one, huh? Oh! It's literally the same fucking chart. Wow.
Nuclear launch detected.
The problem with these highly esteemed pieces of shit is that they can get some pretty nice bounces, but it's never going to do anything consistent to the upside long term. All rallies will fail. Big Bull says ARC USDT. Okay. Let's check out this one. Then I think we should do a quick look at the Bitcoins. I see it's above 102. The Bitcoins. I don't know when I made this chart, but it's the same range, and I suspect that it'll continue on this range. Again, not super interesting as far as the chart goes, especially compared to many other things that show significantly greater strength. But do I think it's going to go sideways like this for a while? Yeah, I do think it is. Does it get a try to the upside at some point in this cycle? Maybe February, maybe March, maybe yes. But, you know, bounces from here. It's just, it's nowhere near prior all-time highs, which is just, in my opinion, not a good sign at this stage in the market cycle. The strong ones are making new highs right here, right fucking now, as we've seen many times already today. But yeah, do I think it's going to rally there? Sure. Do I think it's going to be generally sideways as well? Yeah. Do I think it's going to do anything crazy like we saw in 2024 to the upside in March? Probably not. But I can be wrong. Which is why you should hold on to hopium and make sure you use no stop loss as well, and actually bet everything that you have and then multiply it by 100x leverage. Because you ain't no pussy. Big Bull says LMT versus Sol. LMT, Sol. Let's check out this one. Lydimus. Or actually, I just said we were going to check out Bitcoin, but we'll go to Bitcoin in a moment. Much better than the last one you looked at, or the last one that you requested. Could pull back a little bit more, maybe towards 18 cents. Not saying it's going to, but if it does, that's fine. As long as it's above 18 cents, I look at this one as continuing with the overall uptrend and very likely to retest these highs in the not so distant future.
It was wrong arc.
It was the wrong arc.
It's on Coin X.
Coin X. Coin X. Not that interesting either, honestly. It's not terrible, but I do think that this one is in a bit of a correction here. You know, maybe gets a short-term pop back up to like 44 cents, but I think you're doing something like this. I think it takes a little bit more time. Weekly, yeah, overall, it should have another try to the upside, but I do think this short-term correction can drag on a little bit longer. I don't feel super confident about this one, though, I should say. But if I had to, I'd say a little bit lower in the short term, then a bounce, and then I come back to it after that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a great opinion on this one. See many drives of bearish divergence, so I'm inclined to say it will come down closer to like 33 cents first. Anyways, Crypto Shark says, "Hello, I'm gay. Which setup stronger, Link versus Cardano?" Oops, let's try this. Which one is stronger, Link or Cardano?
I'm gonna say that in the border.
You're gonna say that in the border. Hello, I'm gay. Don't tell them you're asking about Link Chainlink coin, though. They might think that you are a terrorist. Elsa, because Elsa's a foreign person to the U.S., she had to apply for an ESTA in order to get into the U.S., and you have to like take this little questionnaire before you can go to the U.S. And one of the questions is, are you or have you ever participated in terrorist activities, like serious crimes, or do you plan to? And it's a yes or no answer. It's great to see. Anyways, which one's better between Chainlink and Cardano? I mean, you can see it's generally just been sideways here. So it's like there's no clear winner, honestly. If anything, Chainlink's stronger, but if anything, Chainlink is stronger, yes. But I just think uninteresting between the two, honestly. We have WNC next. He says, "Hello, sir. Axe on the ASX. X, okay. Yes. I would have thought this was a shitcoin, honestly. I do think that it is going to try for a reversal here. It is a real stock after all, so it does have at least a potential. I do see volume signatures actually changing around over here as well. So, you know, if it is going to reverse, this would be a good place. You can play it as a reversal as long as it's above this week's low. But the second that it trades below this week's low, it's just continuation of trend. But, you know, if you want to play the reversal before it happens, I guess you could, or I guess I could. But anywhere below this week's low, that goes just out the fucking door. Very fast. Very fast indeed. The Life of KB says, "Hey, another one, XDC. Did we do this one earlier? I think we did. XDC. Let me just double check. Maybe not. You know, retesting these highs here from 2021 is a good, this is a good sign overall, but I do think you are in a pullback area in the short term. You know, maybe it spikes these highs again at like 15, 16 cents. But I would be expecting a bit of a short-term pullback from there and set in a higher low and then have the real breakout to the upside. But either which way, this is good long-term. This is actually good long-term. It's just, I would be cognizant that there can be a pullback very easily kind of from where its current high is already. I mean, maybe this is the pullback, but a little bit of down, set in a higher low, and then go for the real breakout. Monthly, good. Again, if it came back down to 13 cents, that would be fine. Anyways, we have Big Bull. He says Cookie USD. Cookie. All right. Another new one. How do you actually find these new ones? I'm genuinely curious. Very good. You have a lot of these ones that just have these major fucking pops out of nowhere. Short term, a consolidation range. Short term, I do think it will test actually a little bit to the downside, maybe closer to like 45 cents, but again, it's just a higher low as long as it's above Monday's low, long-term bullish. So could look something like this, I guess. You know, comes down here, bounces sideways, and then perhaps a try to the upside. Obviously above 68 cents is where things get very interesting long-term for new all-time high talk. Probably just goes for a buck after that, I guess. Anyways. G-Rod says BTQQF stock. Nice. I'm glad that you specified it is indeed a stock. QQF. Okay. BTQ Technologies. All right. Some sort of a tech. Fuck, that looks like a high. Extreme volatility. Bearish divergence as well. Short term, I do think it will pop actually to the upside, but I do think that's a bull trap. Anywhere between like 360 to 375, even 380 or 390 for that matter. Anywhere around here could pop up there, but I'd be looking for a rejection. I think that this one's topped out actually for a while. How will you know if I'm wrong though? If it trades back above $4, I'm wrong. Until then, I think that this one's done for a while, honestly, after the short-term pop. I think that's going to be your traditional Boolah trap. Lazy XBT says, the first American told me I wasn't allowed to say retarded because it hurts people's feelings. I told her that's retarded. Indeed. That's the thing, man. It's like, if you have to, I think that's what a lot of people are realizing now. It's like, if you have to police your speech based off of other people's feelings, and that's not fair, because you're going to run into some actual fucking stupid ass people who feel really weird ways about things, and then you have to accommodate that into this framework of, well, it hurts your feelings, so I can't say it. It's like, is it a true statement? Well, nope, you can't say it. It's like, all right, great. Anyways, the pendulum is swinging, my friends. The pendulum has swung. Now, we had a very, very far left swinging pendulum up until now for like the past 20, 30 years. Now we're going to see it swing all the way back to the other side, and probably it's going to be equally as at the fringe, it's going to be equally as bad, you know, at its height. But in the middle, it's going to be very, very nice, I suspect. Anyways, please do Fartcoin. Big fan. I'm a big fan of Fartcoin too. What happened to my Fartcoins? Hey, what? This can't be my Fartcoins. I know it looks better than this, right? Oh, I typed in Fatcoin. Whoops. Jesus. There is Fatcoin. It's very bad though. Fartcoin USD. There we go. All right. Much better. Yes. I remember this one from earlier this week. I do think that this one will pull back kind of from where it's at. Maybe it spikes 150 again, but on a pullback, it's just looking for higher lows. So if it looks something like this, you know, it could come down to like 1.25, still put in a higher low, and then try again to the upside. But an example of a stronger shitcoin here, or a stronger Fartcoin, I guess. Weekly is one massive bullish engulfing fart. So this thing's about to blow off its top and gas it up to some new Fartcoin highs, I guess. Just want to see it close above last week's high on Sunday. If you see that, this thing's ready to break to new all-time highs, probably even next week if that happens. Some new all-time farts, I suppose. Matthew Noakes says, FET USD, if time... no, we just do one per person. Otherwise, these streams are going to be way too fucking long and and just become unmanageable. Anyways, Fetcoin, fetish coin, one massive range here. Let's do it for the weekly, not for the daily. Range high, 21, 22, range low, all the way down here at 70 cents. I do think it is putting in a low right here, though. If you're going off of the daily range, that low side of the range is going to be more like 112.5. I think that's more appropriate, honestly. Short term, should try another move to the upside, but do I think it's going to like break out back to the top side of the range from here? Probably not. If it can reclaim this high here from Monday of the 6th of January, back above 165, okay, sure. I guess at that point, you kind of have to be looking for a move closer to the top side of the range, but I do think that this thing is going to be moving sideways in this range for a long time. Will it get a try to the upside? It should get a try to the upside. I mean, it does have a nice long-term uptrend. Just I don't see this one leading right now. Yeah, I think it probably at least takes a couple of months as well. And of course, if you do trade below 112, I think you're going to see a pretty nasty drop off to about 3/4 and hope for the best there, I guess. But, generally have to be biased towards sideways and up. Let's go to Bitcoin really quickly here. See what Bitcoin is, what the BitDerp has done. Has Bitcoin traded above the January highs yet? No, it is not. It's gotten pretty damn close. 102,177 is the high thus far. And the prior high was 102,777. So pretty close. But I personally, I'm quite defensive against a pullback into a higher low as long as you're around this region right here. I mean, that would be the place to fucking do it. That's what kind of bothers me. About just blindly being exactly bullish at this exact moment. But, either which way that you cut it long term, yeah, that does set it up for a major breakout to the upside. Anyways, we have CZ next. He says DJT stock. DJT. Got it. Trump. Oh, it's a Trump stock. All right. I guess should have been able to guess that based off the name. I do think you are going to see this one move to the upside here, probably retest your 2024 highs. Yeah. I'd just be bullish as long as you're above January's lows, essentially, and be looking somewhere around here. Somewhere around there. The Trump pump. Yeah, I think you are getting a Trump pump there, actually. Night Rocks says OPUSD, daily, weekly. OPUS derp. All right. Guess, yeah, here we go. Oh, the LARP line's working out on this one too. Yeah, do not underestimate how long something like this can go sideways. Short term, or in the short term, I do think it tries an upside move, but similar to a lot of the other ones that are in this kind of like same predicament in the short term, you have a short term range. Top side is 218.5, bottom side is 170. I do think you get a test closer to the top side of the range, but are you going to break out above there just yet? I don't know. If it can trade above January highs, then yes. And I would be looking for a move towards like 2.5, 260-ish region. But just not super interesting compared to many other things. Just a laggard, but not super weak, not super strong. Probably moves to the upside. Just takes a longer time, I suspect. All right. We have... Tanny says, please check SAI. Is it still in your notes? Yes, we covered this one earlier, so I think we're all good there. Crypto Clown World says, Tima, the world's most famous raccoon. Okay, what is going on here? Tima the raccoon. My raccoon coins. Gonna make me rich. Rather have fart coins than raccoon coins, I'll tell you that. Sounds racist, honestly. Anyways, not a whole hell of a lot of history here, and for the history that we do have, it goes down during a bull fucking market, so that's not a good sign in my opinion. VCs are investing. I don't know if that's a good thing, man. I actually don't know if that's a good thing. Look, if it's going to reverse and it's going to have hopium, you really actually do expect it to put in a low pretty much exactly where it's at right now. That means no closing below Monday's low. If you close below Monday's low, kiss this one goodbye, because it's just continuation of trend. But if it is going to have a potential reversal, I guess you have a little bit of hopium right here. Just absolutely must, under all circumstances, hold above Monday's low. Otherwise, bad. More of the same. All right. Andrew Kim's also asking about Griffane. We got that one earlier, so good. Brian Bocklin says Neo, like the Chinese Ethereum Neo,
Oh, the singer?
or the singer, the homosexual singer Neo. Long term, look, this deserves a fucking nuke plus screaming feminists as well, but. Short term, is it going to trade to the upside here? Yes, it is. Or I shouldn't say it is, but it's very likely to, yes. I do think it'll retest around $21. Just want to see it close above last week's high, which is 17.08 cents. Just want to see it close the weekly above there. And at that point, maybe this thing gets a major run towards like $30 overall. But this is what you can expect for most shit coins. Pop, reject, pop, reject. Maybe gets another pop here as well, possible. But hard one to love, man. Very hard one to love. PLN says, hey, Krown, AI XBT, okay? AIXBT is AIXBT by virtuals. I don't know what it is, but it likes to go up, and I like that. Short term, it's obviously found a high, but I do think, you create some sort of a range. As long as it's above, let's call it 67 cents, it's going to be good. Maybe it tries for a low right here, but I do think you're going to enter into a bit of a sideways period here. I don't think this thing's ready to trend towards new all-time highs in the short term. I do think you're in a bit of a short-term correction. Probably comes a little bit lower, at least towards like 72 cents. Then I guess I'd expect to bounce there if it is going to continue on, but maybe it comes a little bit lower. But overall, short-term pullback, but just be cognizant of higher lows between about 72 cents to maybe as low as 67 cents. And I'll be expecting a low there. If that fails, then it fails. But until then, at least it has a nice uptrend for now. Night Rock says, any early indications Dixie has topped? I personally, I'm terrible at analyzing Dixie. It's very, very difficult for me because it is really fundamentally driven. Do I think it's topping right here? My opinion is that it is. Not really for much that I see on price action, but for what I see going on in the background, because we just saw Scott Best, I think his name is Scott Besnett, speak yesterday, who is the incoming U.S. Treasury. Or at least I think he's trying to be confirmed right now. And he would, I listened to a lot of his speech yesterday, and not speech, but like his talk with Congress, I think it was, or whoever the fuck he talks with. It's like, I'm not very educated on these things. And he was clearly talking down the dollar, because I think what he realizes, or at least the sort of picture that I have in my mind of what's going on in the background, is that Trump is going to come in like fucking guns firing when he comes in on Monday. And he is going to use the strength of the dollar to bring countries that he wants to negotiate with for new trade deals to the table. Because with a strong dollar, it kind of fucks over most other countries. It fucks over, many, many countries. And that can make them more susceptible to having a more agreeable resolution to an upcoming trade deal. So I think that's what's going on. I think his team knows that, and they understand the game. And I think what's going to happen is you're going to see the dollar come down once those trade deals kind of start to get through. But again, I could be massively wrong on this. Like, who knows when it comes to geopolitical type of things? It's very fucking difficult, and I'm certainly no expert at all there. Nor do I claim to be. What do you want? What do you want?
Can you check the last chat, and did you do that?
GPU? No, I've not done GPU.
Can you do it now that you missed it?
All right, GPU, fine. GPU. All right. One massive range here. It's coming off the range low. I think it's going to take some time going sideways here from the range low, but should be something like this. Maybe it retests this low, like close to it, but I do think that you're generally bouncing from this region. I'd just be bullish on it as long as you're above Monday's low. So something like this. Yeah. And if you can trade back above January highs, then this thing will break out to new all-time highs. But for now, give it a chance to go sideways for a while. I think this phase can take a while. Moving on, we have Big Bull. He says Solana USD. Did we do this one earlier? Maybe not. Actually, no, we did not. 4-hour time frame specifically, I think you're going to retest this high from early January, like 220, 223 region, and probably pull back a little bit from there. Maybe in like a crazy move, if Bitcoin really gets going, maybe you see a spike up to 229 rather than 222 or 223, and then a pullback from there. But, somewhere in this vicinity right here, I'd be looking for a pullback. But like many other things that we've looked at today, pullbacks into higher lows is what I'd be anticipating, because this is very obviously reaccumulating right here. At least in my opinion, very likely you're going to find this thing back around 250 in the not so distant future. Not so distant future, maybe like March, whatever it ends up being. G-Rod says, what Dem 2 TV shows you mentioned a few weeks ago? I actually don't know what you're referring to. What TV shows did we watch a couple weeks ago? I don't know. I don't remember, man. You'd have to jog my memory with what I was saying about them. CZ says, if Bitcoin trades today above January highs, is all-time high coming sooner than we think, like this week? Well, this week's like basically over, man. No, I wouldn't say this week, but maybe next week. If Bitcoin can actually trade and close above January highs, yeah, sure. Retest prior all-time highs. And yeah, that's a little bit earlier on my time schedule, but that would be, yeah, next week, the 20th to the 25th. Something like that. All right, last one, we have VC. He says, can you please redo Doggy? It's breaking out. Targets are your Angus, sir. Again, short term, I think it continues a little bit. This is not breaking out right here, sir. It's breaking out of the daily consolidation. Yes, I do agree with that, but it's not breaking out of like the higher term time frame look just yet. I do think that you trade a little bit further north, maybe closer to like 42.5, 43 cents. Short term pullback from there. And then assuming that the weekly close above last week's high, yeah, I do think you will get a legitimate try towards the current highs of this rally from December in like the last week or the last couple of weeks of January. So just needs to close above about 40 cents. If it can close above there on the weekly, maybe next week it gives a try towards these highs here and maybe even new all-time highs, or I guess not new all-time highs, but new highs on this rally. Something like that, man. All right. Holy moly, man. We've made it all the way here to the end of the stream, 2 hours in. Holy shit. 1,137 people watching right now as well. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Crypto Clown World says the TV shows from Elsa's local TV stations, Krown. Talking about Mad Ventures. That one I like.
Do you remember the crazy streamer, the white trust?
Are you talking about the crazy streamer? Who I think I spoke about him this week, actually. That was from Offbeat. What was it called again?
It was on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm gonna find this one. Offbeat Files. Yeah.
You should do SAI-USD.
Yes, we've done SAI a couple times already. For fuck's sake. Still SAI making new all-time highs. Very simple. Very, very simple. New all-time highs beget new all-time highs. Oh no, it's pulling back in the short term. Sure, it can pull back all the way down to 9 cents and be absolutely no problem at all whatsoever. As long as you're above Wednesday's low, bullish. Short-term pullbacks are just that, short-term pullbacks before continuation. You mentioned two of your favorite shows. Fuck, I've forgotten what my favorite shows are, sir.
Always sunny in Philly.
It's all Workaholics and It's Always Sunny. Yeah, those are some great shows as well. I'll stay here a little bit for the chats. Or actually, there's still more super chats. FTM. I guess we can look at it really quickly. FTM. 2021 shitcoin. Again, very uninteresting in the grand scheme of things, in my opinion. Let me see something like this. Do I think it's putting in a low here? Yeah, I do think it's putting in a low here. Do I think it's going to move up from here? Yes, sideways and up, probably the name of the game, something like this. But overall, just very uninteresting compared to 90% of shit that we looked at today. Just, I hate charts like this that just go down. And then, yes, it is reversing here. Yes, it will go up, blah, 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 but just not, percentage-wise, not that exciting. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Yes, close them now, immediately. Klaus Schwab says, hi, Sir Krown. Is there a way to measure uni versus H-bar? I mean, maybe. I'm going to try this, but what? Uni. You're still looking at fucking Uniswap. H-bar is interesting. H-bar is significantly more bullish versus uni. Bean it. All right, we pin it. All right. And then Big Bull says, what are your favorite shitcoins? My favorite shitcoins, the SAI one that we found on a stream like a couple weeks ago. This one I still like. Deep Book. This one I like as well. You have one of the greatest shillers of all time, Mr. Raoul Pal, shilling this one. And I think it's kind of like it's like an exchange on Sui, some shit like that. I don't know if they ever do anything of interest, but I like the chart. Is there anything else? I mean, look at this bullish engulfing dildo. I mean, that is just one massive fucking bullish engulfing dildo that has just destroyed all bearish Anguses. It's insane. There's another shitcoin that I like as well, but it's not doing that well, which is Lush, and it's basically an AI OnlyFans. I think it's genius, the idea, but I'm not a humongous fan of the chart. Other than that, yeah, I don't really have anything. I'm watching hype because I keep on seeing people who I really respect talk this one up. So I'm curious, like, what they know. But I haven't really seen anything that I like there just yet. So yeah, that's pretty much it for shitcoins that I've been looking at. Yeah. Let us buy a Grok type subscription to the bot. You mean which bot? What are you talking about, man? What are you talking about, man? Be more specific. Uni will run when Trump unlocks DeFi. I don't know, maybe. Let's look at Uniswap's chart. I'm curious.
Did you do them or do I need to send them?
Yeah, I did them. Okay, this is not Uni's chart. The fuck? Yeah, there we go. I mean, I do think it will go up here. Yes, I do think it will go up. Yeah, I'm not a humongous fan of the long-term chart, but I do think it will go up here. And I do think it will at least retest this high at some point from December and probably make new highs, I'd guess. Yeah, just not a fan of it long-term. I think it's going to be a pain in the ass to get this thing above $20, but well, while most things go for much more, that would just be my personal opinion, I guess. Get in touch with Baron. We need a Trump interview. I'm sure Trump would love to come on this stream. Elsa would love to meet him, though. That would be good. That'd be very, very nice. What happened to Bulk and Dwarf Coin? I mean, I don't know if you've seen the chart, man, but we dumped that one fucking many moons ago, sir. But let me see. I'm actually curious where it's at right now. I'm guessing, or at least I hope, it's not done anything interesting to the upside. Yeah. Yeah. That one's done. That's a fucking top, man. That's a top. Bitcoin working its way to its own top. Very close to January highs now. Very fucking close. Can it do it? I think it would be good. Yes. Okay. Kent Kenningston says, can you take a look at Novo Nordisk? Sure. Stock. Novo Nord. Not finding this one, man. Oh, I found it. Don't like it. Jesus, man. What the fuck? I do think it's in a bouncy region right here, and this thing could easily bounce over the next couple of months to well above $100, like 105 to even like 110, 115. But that is the traditional parabolic blow off top. So I think this next upside move is going to be a bull trap, like something like this. Ugly, sir. I think that's where we're going to shut it off for today. I am hungry, and it is time to eat. So I will eat, and it's been an absolute pleasure on this nice Friday to close out this week. I'll post the analysis, just the analysis later as well, for the people who just want to look at Bitcoin. Again, if you're new here and you want to join in at another time, please consider subscribing, because it does, I don't know, it makes it easier for Bitcoin. It makes it easier for YouTube to put these videos in your inbox if that's of your interest. And yeah, a good one for today. Some fun times in the market, perhaps ahead. As always, I want to wish everyone the best. Take care, much love, and see you hopefully